Time to talk money, and unfortunately, a lot of us don't have a lot of money, but we're going to learn some tips today on how we can save some money. Joining us is Michael Carlin. He's our financial guy, and you take care of us when you come here. So again, thanks for being on the show.
It's my job to make sure those that don't have money, and those that have some have more.
There you go. But we want to try and get as much as we can, right?
Okay, let's do it.
That is the goal. All right, so let's talk about summer saving ideas. A lot of times people think, oh, I put a little away here and a little away there, but then they go in and they spend that money when something comes up. So you really need to have some strategy as to how you can save the money strategically so you can have it in the long run. So what are some basic tips that we can do?
Basic tips is number one, if you think that you're going to save $3 here and there by not buying that coffee and get rich, that's not it. So what we want to make sure that you do is that you get that money out of your account. If it's there, you'll spend it.
This is so true.
I know.
Because you see it and you're like, oh, I still have a little extra.
Yep. You do. So take that money and then literally put it into a savings account that you can't touch or spend easily.
And now a lot of people think, okay, well, I go out to eat every once in a while, but those little things add up. So is that something that maybe you should start looking at? How many times a week I go out to eat, and maybe I could lessen it up?
Did you realize that the #1 expense, like basic living expense, I mean, outside of the mortgage and rent and things like that, basic living expenses, eating out, that whole dining expenses, that's the #1 culprit. People are spending thousands of dollars. Now, the restaurateurs don't want me to say this, but people are spending thousands of dollars extra per year that you could be using to pay down debt, and you could be using to help save for yourself and achieve certain financial objectives. So be cautious, be conscientious, and prepare your food at home over the weekends for the week. It'll save you thousands over the course of a year.
That's good to know, because we're not saying don't go out to eat. We're saying maybe do it once a week, and those other, if you were doing it like 5 days a week, that's excessive.
5 days a week's a lot. So when you're thinking about spending money, just for a little while, try spending just cash. See how that works for you.
A lot of people don't even carry cash.
We're learning that today. So what we want to do is that it will give you a real sense for how your money's being spent when it physically leaves your hands and when you have to get it from the bank. So try it, see what happens.
Because if you can feel it and you're using it, then it makes more sense to you, and you're like, ooh, I really need to hold on to this $30.
Right, because money is one of those concepts. It's out there, it's in the open, but that real tangible part of it, try it. I ultimately want people to continue to use credit cards, but let's try the cash experiment, and then that'll give you a sense for how you're spending.
All right, let's talk about not keeping up with other people, because a lot of people think that, oh, I need to live this kind of lifestyle, that kind of lifestyle, but really you need to live within your means, but it's the hardest thing to do, especially if you're comparing yourself to someone else.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, and we live in a town here in this Phoenix, Scottsdale, this area where kind of keeping up with the Kardashians is something that's more commonplace. So certainly there's a couple things that you want to do. #1, make sure when you buy something, you buy quality, because it gets really expensive to replace things over and over and over again. Certainly #2, you're going to want to end up, again, being more aware of what you're spending, and you're going to want to make sure that you're buying things that are only important to you and important to your family, important objectives.
That you're going to be using, that have value. Now let's talk about someone who actually does have some money, who maybe have been saving. There's some strategic tips you need to do to make that money really grow for you. But a lot of people don't take advantage of it. And I was talking to you about this earlier. You were saying you're saving, Danielle, but you need to start investing it.
I'm super excited that you're saving. I'm super excited that you got that money set aside. But the most important step is, once it's set aside, you got to use it and be opportunistic. So you got to be plugged in a little bit, so when the market goes down or stock market goes down, go ahead and buy that Amazon stock, or open up that investment account when the market's down. And the real estate market at some point is going to have a correction. But have those funds set aside to take advantage of those opportunities when they come up. Don't just park it there and leave it there forever. Invest it. Do so wisely and be strategic with it.
Okay, that's the #1 thing you keep saying, be strategic. So #1 thing, as he was saying, we want to save money, put it away to where we can't touch it, also invest it, and just buy proper things that you know you're going to use, that you're not replacing over and over again.
Yes, and don't forget to invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Great tips and information. ManageTheFunds.com is where you need to go for more information. We'll have a link on our website, AZTV.com. Get out there and save that money so you can be prepared for your future. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more when we get back here on Arizona Daily Mix.